A Mindfulness Guide for the Frazzled by Ruby Rex. Chapter 3: How Our Brains Work and the Science Behind Mindfulness. Saving the Day, Neuroplasticity. At this point you may be throwing your arms up thinking, what am I supposed to do with this information about stress? I am the way I am, so what if I'm addicted to my habits? Does that make me a bad person? This is the equivalent of saying, I can't do anything, I'm a slope, it's my destiny, and it's written in my stars. As if a slope fairy came to you in the night when you were asleep and trashed your house. There is no destiny about it. Even with no arms and no legs, you can still clean your room. My mother used to vacuum with her teeth. Let's learn from her. Nowadays, we know that your genes give you the basics. Let's think of them as a part of potential chemicals and a vague blueprint of neural connections. But that they can be altered. Even when you're in the womb, everything, and I mean everything, you experience reconfigures the neural patterns which reflect how you think, feel, and behave. The brain is never static. The patterns and connections are in constant flux. In more possible configurations than there are stars in the universe. There is no finished model called you. We are all in a state of flux. This is a constant shape-shifting known as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is a capacity to create new neural connections. Our brains are like sponges that change shape with every thought and experience. Even after reading this sentence, your brain wiring will have changed. Our brains are made up of trillions of intricately connected neurons that are in continual communication, sending electrochemical signals to each other. We can't eavesdrop on what they're communicating about, but if you place someone inside an fMRI scanner and ask them to do specific tasks or think specific thoughts, the neurons in various areas are activated, and this gives us some clues as to what's going on upstairs. There can be a whole Kanye West on tour light show going on in your brain while you're just sitting around having a pedicure. It's like pass the parcel. Each neuron passes on information, not some crap plastic toy wrapped in newspaper, but crucial information via electric current, triggering the release of specific chemicals or neurotransmitters. They bathe the brain in various recipes, which make you do what you do, think what you think, and feel what you feel. If you repeat certain behaviors, thoughts, or feelings, the neural connections associated with them become hardwired. And the harder wired they are, the more you repeat the same behaviors, thoughts, or feelings. Et voila, a habit is created, which limits your view of the world and of yourself. Now that we know that the brain is in a constant state of change, it's clear that by altering our thinking, we can change the landscape and break unhelpful patterns and the production of chemicals that accompany them. Here's a theory on why focusing attention might affect neuroplasticity. A part of your brain called the nucleus bacillus, it's adjacent to the brainstem, has little neuron spikes that secrete a chemical throughout the cortex when it's stimulated. This chemical juice can strengthen the connections between neurons once they have been activated. When we focus our attention, the stuff they squirt out produces neuroplasticity. This could be one reason why the power of thinking physically changes our brain. But how can we do it? I bring the topic back to that old brain sculptor, MBCT.